Hello, hello. I wanted to do a quick card demo around the genetic path cutting deck. I've been getting a lot of questions about this deck. Thank you to everybody who has ordered it. And, whether that is, an individual download or the folks who are on the Patreon for the holographic rose who are utilizing it. I'm really utilizing it as a instructive tool. I'm also working with this deck with my one-on-one clients, and it's pretty hefty, y'all. So first, I wanted to show you just how thick the stack will be. And some of these cards are personal cards that I've added. One thing that I share in the PDF that I send out to folks is that this is an open divination system. It's not a closed divination system. Any sort of tarot deck or oracle cards that you would buy on any kind of like website where it's like shipped to your house, that would be a closed divination system, which means that it was only the creator's consciousness that created that deck for you. And it was really important to me to keep whatever offerings I provided an open system. And so it's no frills, okay? You would basically write out the index cards, and basically you're utilizing this system and getting access to the keywords that I have, that I've cultivated on my journey. And this deck is the iteration of many other decks that I've done over the years, and this one feels solid to me. And so you would get the keywords, you would get how to ground, how to channel in those energies to support you with accessing the keys and codes to your own higher self, your own divine wisdom, and yeah, and becoming the oracle. This is DIY shamanism at its best. But, I wanted to provide a little bit more accessibility for folks who have already purchased the deck, or for folks who are kind of thinking about incorporating this kind of divination system into their practice. And so I thought that maybe the best way to do this would be to start sharing different cards with the collective and explaining what these cards mean. And that way, whether or not you purchase this deck or not, you're getting access to like a keyword to start thinking about on your journey. So first, let me just rewind and explain what genetic path cutting is. There are people who are waking up right now who know that they are here to activate their DNA. They're here to heal ancestral trauma, and they're doing it not just on behalf of their ancestries, but they know that if they don't do it, if they don't heal these ancestral wounds, it'll impact their own personal lives, okay? So it's not like being the sacrificial lamb of the family and taking on everyone's karmic debt and bearing the burden, which is what a lot of y'all who are attracted to this concept of genetic path cutting have kind of naturally had to do. This is going a step further and transmuting and transcending this karma, and these karmic storylines. And when I say transcend and transmute karma, I'm talking about this from like a very artificial intelligence kind of way. I've mentioned this in other content that I've done, but I consider karma to be a quantum supercomputer. And basically, it creates an algorithm for your life, and this will determine how your life will go. And this is why karma has been manipulated within the false matrix simulation, because there's a lot of beings out there that don't want to take accountability for some of the effects of the choices that they've made in either this incarnation or other incarnations. And so what they'll do is they'll defer karma onto others. They will do a lot of stuff to kind of like mess with the algorithm, kind of similar to how things happen in social media, right? Like, I'm gonna wait for this plane to go. Hold on, y'all. It was so quiet when I started this video, by the way, I swear. I'm in a weird area though, too, where there's just a lot of action in general, which I'll explain later, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyway, so karma has been manipulated. So a lot of times the algorithm of our life script has been manipulated. So the genetic path cutting deck is really good with seeing where the manipulations are, clearing those, seeing if there's karma that's actually valid for you to be carrying in your field, or not, or see if things are like basically being hidden from you, knowing when to call in prosperity karma from a certain bloodline, when to send back certain karma that's not yours from a specific bloodline, or when you need to like actually take responsibility for it and clear it. So this mighty deck, I think it's going on like 400 cards, y'all, will support you with that. Okay, but I want to feature one card for y'all today. Etheric Prison. Ooh, I know that's pretty deep. We're going cutting straight to the chase. That's one thing about this deck. It's straight, no chaser. Not everyone's ready. Okay, I've also gotten feedback of folks needing to like step away from the deck because it was just a little bit too real for them, and that's actually totally okay. That's been a part of my journey too. You have to go through a certain amount of ego training to even see some of these cards, because it really requires you to have this non-dualistic polarity integration approach, and that's why I've been going so hard with like polarity integration, because this is transcending duality. Okay, just wanted to put that out there, that this ain't for everybody. Okay, etheric prison. So let's break down this terminology. Etheric would represent the fifth element of ether, the things that you can't see, the realm that you can't see. And then prison would indicate something being confined, kept away from you. Okay, so if you get this card, etheric prison, in a reading, a lot of times this has to do with, I've found this a lot in ancestry. When there's certain ancestral records or ancestors that are really fractured due to trauma, or who have been forgotten about, or who are literally in a particular realm where their consciousness is not connected to the fact that maybe their life has passed, like they're just still in a particular frozen state. If you get the card, another card in the deck is called Frozen in Time. If you get etheric prison or frozen in time, that's a sign that your ancestry needs to be liberated. Or I've seen this sometimes with Akashic records too, being in an etheric prison. Sometimes your inner child too, that can happen. I've seen that happen as well. I've seen this also tied up with somehow being like literally boxed in somehow. So that's like that could kind of go into like an etheric implant. Something that's yours being, or that's a part of your consciousness, because the ancestors are a part of our consciousness. But something being guarded, or not even guarded, like confined, kept away from you. Okay, and so if your ancestors are in etheric prison, that means that's going to manifest somehow in your reality. So one role that we have as a genetic path cutter is to do the work to integrate and to embody wholeness, and that means liberating our ancestors from any kind of consciousness prisons and integrating them back into us, so that we are able to embody their gifts and their knowledge and their wisdom. So that's just a quick download on one of the cards for the genetic path cutting deck. If you're interested, the links are below. Sending lots of love to you. Until we meet again. Just wanted to take this moment to share this resource if you are looking to really go deeper with your healing path and you're looking for a very specified way to connect with your ancestors and your guides to provide you with a holistic healing, body, mind, spirit. Then tap in with this genetic path cutting oracle deck. You can either access it on the Patreon with the holographic rose tier, or it could be a direct download. Check out the links below if you're interested in learning about how to apply these concepts I talk about on this page in a very real and tangible way for you.